morning, everyone. It's Tuesday morning, and that's Casing Tuesday. I'm going to give everyone a moment to get on here. I'm going to clean my glasses. I know there's a little bit of glare coming off my glasses. Let me clean them real quick, and then we'll get started. I see someone's arrived. That's a good sign. In the morning, I'm always wondering, can people find me? And today is our Casing Tuesday group. And today's the day when we take a card out of the catalog and we give it a makeover. Now we all make over the same card, and we have a Facebook group for that over on our Casing Tuesday Facebook group, which you are welcome to join. And I'm sure some of you have already joined. And there you can post your own version of the card that we are giving a makeover to today. So it's really fun. I finally posted my card from last night, because I forgot to post it. Last week was a kind of a crazy week for me. And so I just realized that I had forgotten to post it last night, and I went on there and I looked at all the cards, and they were so beautiful. There were so many different versions of the original card, and that's what the neat thing is. It's a way, kind of like a blueprint, a template to start off with, and then we all share our own version of the card. And I like to do a video. Like, my cards on Casing Tuesday aren't terribly complex, but I think my brain will just kind of show you how I do my cards, and maybe you'll take some inspiration from that, and that's what I hope that you will get today. Let me see. Yes, it is Instacart day, and always my phone is beeping, so I'll put it on silent mode so it doesn't disturb us. All right, I see that some of you are here. Good morning. Good morning, Amy and Dee and Betty and Janine. So glad to have you here this morning. Let me, oh, you know what I forgot to do? Let me do this real quick. Let me pull up the cards. There's always something I forget to do. But just take me just one little second. Oh, there's the first one. It just automatically popped up on my screen. There is our card for today that we'll be casing. Now, this looks really busy, but what you can do, and I'll show you just a sec. Let me pull up the sketch. Here is the sketch. So the sketch breaks it down easily for you. You see all those snowflakes in the background of that card. Now, you don't necessarily have to do a background like that. You can use a background piece of paper. So when you look at a layout like this, kind of break it down to its basic components, its squares, its circles, its rectangles, and it makes it a lot easier. So if we go back to the sketch for a moment, you can see it's got kind of the main card. It's got a crooked layer, which if you are OCD or want everything straight, let me put it that way, then you can straighten out that layer if you want to. And then it kind of just has like a greeting layer, an image layer that could be circular, or you can choose to make it a square, a rectangle, a different shape. But that's the way it kind of looks right there. So that is our card for today. So I know you probably saw on my intro my card. So let me share that with you. I'm going to move over to my other camera. And so I made these cards for some of my fabulous team members. I have to get out a bunch of mail this week. So these are the cards that I made, and I used the, what's the name of that, Plaid Tidings Designer Series paper. And it's nice that we can use that paper for other occasions. And it's just bright and wonderful. And then look at this metallic paper that I have in the background, the cardstock. And I used all three shades. Let me see if I can hold these up. So you can see the lightest is on my right side, and then it kind of goes a little bit darker, but you can see how you can use all three different shades in the background of these papers here. And I just cut the stars right into the paper, and then the metallic cardstock shines through. And you'll also notice pretty well maybe on this card here that I cut the plaid paper just a little bit smaller than the metallic paper, so now it also has a little metallic edge on it as well. So I'm going to show you how I put these cards together. And I was debating which card to do, so we'll have to make a selection in a moment. I wanted to talk about the products. This is the Stitched Stars dies, and they are beautiful. And I like these because they can be used at other times of the year besides Christmas, but just look at the beautiful stitching on the die. And that will go on the outside of the hole that you cut or the window, and it also goes right onto the star itself that you cut out. So those are really, really cool. So the other stamp set I'm using, or main product, is the Many Mates stamp set. So the cool thing is, this stamp set I'm using the You're Just So Fabulous, but maybe you don't have those types of cards to make right now. You could turn it into a happy birthday card, or It's Your Day could be for any occasion, and then you can be more explicit on the inside of the card as to what the specific occasion is. I like this stamp set a lot because it's got outline words. So I'm going to fill those in with Stampin' Blends. All right, we've got two choices in the cards that we make. I wasn't sure whether I wanted to make the one with a kind of the bluish plaid or the one with a kind of pinkish purplish plaid. So we have a choice to make. I don't know, what do you think? Shall I do the blue one or shall I do this pinky orange one? Let me know what you think. And while you do that, I am going to put some of this away for a moment. And I'll let you decide. Are we going to do the pink or the blue? And I'm going to pull out the stars that we need. We need not the smallest, but the four smallest stars minus the teeny tiniest one. So the second smallest, the third smallest, and the fourth smallest stars from the Stitch Stars dies. Let's see. Oh no, now we have a pink. Okay, we've got 2 for blue and 2 for pink. We've got 3 for pink and 2 for blue. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I think I'll have to do both. Let's do both. I'll do both at the same time. How's that? We'll see how easy that goes. Okay, so let's start off. We'll do the pink one to start with. Let me bring this in, and we're going to cut some stars into this piece. So we'll start off with the biggest star, and I'm just going to kind of put this. My trick was to kind of give it a point. I don't want them straight, and I'm going to put the tip of the star 1/8 away from the edge, because even at 1/8 away from the edge, it's still not, it's going to be at least 1/4 of an inch away from the edge, the cut. And the stitching is going to be 1/4 inch. The window is probably going to be about 3/8 of an inch. So when I'm doing these, all of the stars, let's see, are 1/8 of an inch. So this one's 1/8 from the top, this one's 1/8 from the side, and this one's 1/8 from the bottom. So it just kind of gives you an idea of how to spread them out if you want to do it this way. So then I'll just put my second cutting plate on top, and I'm going to run this through. And the cool thing about this, I'm going to show you in a second. I didn't take a photograph of this. I'm going to reserve these stars, and they are going to go on the inside of my card. So let me just make a little stack of these, And don't let me forget to make the inside of the card or show it to you. Okay, so this is what my piece looks like. And let's do this also for the blue piece. Because just like you, we couldn't collectively make up our minds. I couldn't make up my mind which one to make today either. So let's be indecisive and make both. Okay. Arranging it somewhat in the same way, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8. And then I'm going to run this through. And you know what? If you're not precisely in those locations, it doesn't matter. It's just a pattern with the stars in just the general location. I just did 1/8, 1/8, 1/8 because it, so that I could tell you something. And there are the stars. And again, I'm going to reserve those for the inside. Okay, put those over there. I think we're done with the die cutting machine. So let me pop that away. Okay, so let's bring in this piece right here. And this is just going to be adhered on top of here. Now, I totally forgot to tell you how big I cut my plaid paper pieces. So let me do that right now. This piece measures 3 7/8 inches by 5 1/8 inches. And then this metallic piece measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. Why did I do that? I wanted this piece to be no wider than 4 inches. That way, if I was going to make 6 cards, I could get 6 pieces out of a sheet of metallic paper. If I went to 4 1/4, then I would have only been able to get 4 pieces out. So I just wanted to make sure. Need to grab my glue. I just wanted to make sure that I could maximize usage. So what I'll do for the back of this is I'm just going to put some Tombow kind of around the edges just to make sure it sticks down. When you're gluing to metallics, remember they're a little slidey, slick on top. So I'm just going to stand up and hover over top, and before I push down, there's only going to be like a 1/16 inch of the metallic showing through on the sides. So when I place this down, I want to make sure that I can see a rim all the way around. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and adhere this right away to a piece of a card base. And this one measures 11 by 4 1/4 and scored in half at the 5 1/2 inch mark. Okay. And then I'm going to just add that to the front. And you can see what that metallic edge does is it creates kind of a nice layer. Oh, I did this one straight. Okay, let's do one straight. Let's do both of these straight and see how we like it and see if we like the straight or if we like the crooked better. That will be a good little exercise. The original card was crooked, and that's why I did the first one crooked. And let me grab this one, and again, we're just going to add Tombow around. I'm not putting, it looks like a lot maybe, but it's just a very thin stream of Tombow that's coming out. So it's not a lot of, you can see it's just not that thick. Just want a little bit so that it's spread thinly. And then I'm going to stick this one on top of here. And they are both the same measurements. So the plaid layer is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. The metallic layer is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And the card base is the same. It's a 4 1/4 by 11 and scored in half at the 5 1/2 inch mark. And I'll add this onto here. And this one's also straight. And that way we can see which ones we like better, the straight ones or the crooked ones. All right, so now I need a piece of Whisper White, which I didn't grab earlier. See if I can find a piece. I want regular Whisper White. I'm fishing in my, I have a Whisper White bin, scrap bin right beside my workstation because I always use a lot of Whisper White. So I'm going to take this greeting. It says, "You're just so fabulous." Tap this on my Mento ink pad. I'm tapping rather than smushing because the first time I did this, some ink kind of piled up on one edge of my greeting and it got a little darker on one side and I didn't really like that. So let me just, I'm tapping the ink on rather than smushing it on, and I'm going to do this one on this side. Okay, so I told you I like the outline. So let's bring in some Stampin' Blends. I'm going to start with my Mango Melody Dark, and I'm going to take my bullet tip and I'm just going to come around and just go into the letters. And basically I'm just kind of aiming for the center. And the bullet tip pretty much fills that right away, so you don't have to go over it a second time. And if you go a little bit outside the lines, it's not going to hurt. Let's do the same for this one. And then I always do the bottom one in a different color to match my card. So Mango Melody Dark on the top, because all of my plaids that I picked had kind of that yellowy orange in them. So that was just kind of a good color to start with. And blends are great because they're nice and bright. Okay, oh, and then this little piece. All right, and then let's go ahead and do this one's, I'm using Bermuda Bay Light bullet tip, and I'm just gonna go over the Fabulous. I'm doing it in a different color so that the Fabulous pops. Okay, and then I'm going to use my Magenta Madness bullet tip on this one over here. You might wonder why I stamped one going one direction and one going the other. The reason is when I stick this inside the punch, somehow I can line up better if the word is facing me than away from me. And you'll see in a second that the way this punch works, I'll move these blends aside. The way this punch works, it comes in from this side. So if I had them both stamped on the same side, then one side would be upside down when I punched it out. So I'm just going to put this right in the window and center it and punch it. And then this one's going to go on here. And then turn this around and center it. And that one will go on there. And this is the, oh, what is this called? Shoot, I think it's called the Label Me Fancy Punch. I'm going to look it up right now. Label Me Fancy Punch. That's what it is. Okay. All right. So then I'm going to take some ribbon and I'm going to take some Tear and Tape. Let's do this one first. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of cover the back of this piece with 3 strips of Tear and Tape. And I'm going to use that to pin my ribbon down because I'm going to make the ribbon look like, I don't know, it looks like a celebratory ribbon because of the way that it's like, you know, like on a blue ribbon, they would have something, I don't know, they have that kind of, you know, these angle things coming down here. So it's kind of a loop of ribbon. And actually, that is what is on the original card too. So I'm trying to mimic the original card. There. Okay. So now these are both prepped. So I'm going to start by doing this one. So let's remove the tear and tape liner. And right now I have 0 nails. I have no thumbnails. I don't know how it got that way, but I'm sorry, everyone. I do not have pretty nails. I don't want to spend the time on my nails. I think that's basically it. You know, it's just too much work all the time. So sorry, my nails aren't pretty. Okay, so I'm going to loop a piece of ribbon and I'm going to grab my scissors so I can. So basically what I do is I loop the ribbon and I put it down where I want it to go. I want to kind of have it come this way, down this way. And then I'm going to take, oh, it's this one right here. It's already prepped for me. And make sure you put it on the right way. And then I'm going to pin this down. And then what I want to do, since this is plaid paper, what you can do is make sure your edge of your punch piece lines up with one of the lines on the paper so it doesn't look funny and crooked afterwards. And then I just come in and angle cut those pieces, and that is how I make that little loop. So then we can come over here and remove the liner on this one. All right. I just glanced over and Janine says she doesn't do her nails either. I don't know. I did at one point. Oh, and I did them for our wedding, which was like 26 years ago. I did have beautiful nails for the wedding, and I think I remember the day before I broke one, and I was in tears because I was trying to keep them all perfect for the wedding. But it all worked out, and we still stayed married. So I guess the nails don't matter, even if you break one, right? Okay, so I've got that little loop coming down here again. Make sure this is the right way around. Oh, got a little bit of ink smudge on there. I will have to fix that afterwards. I don't want to restamp it right now. So let's just pin this down. Pin it down, make sure I'm lining up with a stripe before I push down all the way. And then just do the angle cuts like that. All right, so now I said I would do the inside of the card, and I'm glad I'm not forgetting that because that would be really sad after I finished the video and then I'd be like, oh shoot, I forgot to do the inside of the card. So how do I finish the inside of the card? I just grab a piece of Whisper White, and this one measures 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. Okay, so I'll just put, it's just centered, a piece that I'll center right, oh, don't get glue everywhere. Okay, right on the center. And I'll do that with this one as well. Hey, making 2 cards is not too bad if you're doing it both at the same time. Not too bad. It doesn't quite take as long. as doing it twice individually. Okay. All right. So now the stars. I better make sure I put the correct stars in the correct card, right? Not that it would really matter that much, but I'm going to do matching. Matching. Okay, so I'm going to take the biggest star and put some Tombow on it. And I'm going to put that one down near the bottom. Okay. So the way I sign cards, usually I put the person's name up top, I write something, and then I put my name down here. So that makes a lot of sense for me. But you may have a different way that you write cards, so then you would do it differently. But I thought this would work well for my pattern. Take the little itty bitty star and stick it up top here, right? Because you write the person's name up top there. It doesn't take the whole length, so that's a good stopping point. And then this last one, you see the brilliance of my design right here. I'm going to stick it right up top here. So it kind of like has a cascade effect down like that. I kind of like that. Yes, and that way I'm using up these beautiful plaid stars. And you know, I told you earlier, if you don't have the stitch stars, see right here. I don't know if you can see. My light is really poor today. Maybe you can see a little stitching along there. They have stitching along the edge of the star, but if you look on the front, you can also see, I don't know, I can't get a good angle. The metallic flaring, but there's stitching on the outside of each of the stars as well. It's really hard to see in my poor light today. I think we have remnants of that hurricane that came through Delta, and because it's going to rain. Oh, that one doesn't go there. This one goes here. It's we have rain forecast for the whole day, so it was quite miserable walking this morning. Not too bad. I mean, it wasn't windy or anything, but it was just raining like really. We were kind of wet when we got back, even though we have rain gear. So it's kind of a miserable day. But that does not stop us from walking. We are such avid walkers. We carried on and we walked in the miserable weather this morning. And now I have poor light. So there is what that looks like. And if you want to see my yellow one on the inside, that's what the yellow one looks like. So kind of a cute pattern on the inside too, right? Kind of like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put these cards side by side, and you can tell me whether you like the crooked or the straight. I kind of like both, you know. That's kind of interesting because usually I'm not like a big crooked fan, but I can see the merit in doing it a little crooked because it's got a lot of fun energy with the crooked, right? And then this one, let me put this one aside. Let's do this one. So yeah, the crooked one actually has like a little bit more energy going on, I think. You know, this one's a little bit more sedate, and this one's kind of got whoosh, right? So let's do the ones with the angled layer, and let me lay them all out so you can see them again. So what do you think? Which card do you like the best? Do you like the yellow one, the pinkish one, or the blue greenish one? I think they're all pretty. I don't know which one my favorite would be. I think I like either the pink or the blue. And the reason why is, you know, I've told you this before, that yellow, I like small pops of yellow, but when yellow is the main color of the card, for some reason, I don't like it as much as other colors. It looks beautiful in a coordinating group, but for some reason, I like the pinks and the blues a little bit more. Even though I actually made this one first because I was, you know, so this one inspired the other ones. So kind of fun progression to see where everything went. All right, let me pop back over to my other camera. Here I am. So that was kind of fun, right? I really like the way the stars cascade on the inside. I think that's kind of a fun pattern that we can use for other cards where we cut negatives, like, or we use the negative on the outside of the card. Why not use those actual positive pieces, the punched pieces, the die cut pieces on the inside? And that cascading effect is really cool. All right. I'm going back to the very beginning and I'm going to see if I catch any comments that I need to. Um, so Dee said, even partially finished, they look good. Yeah, I think I like the pattern. So I really tried, remember the original card? Let's pull this up. So the original card had scattered snowflakes. So when I was looking to create my card, I thought, how could I scatter something on the card base? That did not necessarily need to be done because I could have just used a solid layer, but I thought, how could I scatter something? So I flipped through my dies and I saw the star dies, and I thought that would be cool to scatter stars instead of snowflakes. So that's how I came up with the idea for the stars. Uh, yeah, Janine was talking about her nails are functional. Um, I broke so many for so many years working. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I wish my nails would be pretty for you, but it's not something that I want to spend time on. So it's a decision that I make, right? So sorry if that offends anyone. I want you to know I'd rather spend time on my creativity than making my nails look beautiful. It's just a choice, right? We all have the same 24 hours in a day and we can choose what we do with them, right? So for all you girls with pretty nails, I admire that. That's awesome. I'll admire your nails, but I'll just, not spend time on that myself. Geez, it sounds like I have a complex about my nails, doesn't it? All right. Um, Hello, Alice. I'm so glad you joined. Amy says, natural nails are best. If you watch other card makers with fake nails, they fumble all over the place. Sometimes they do, but sometimes they actually are very adept at getting things peeled off. So I don't know. I'm not here to make a judgment on that. Everyone can do what they want. I just think sometimes my nails, like I kind of look at them and go, ee, what have I done? Maybe I could make them a little bit more even, right? Oh, it's fun. Uh, okay, Dee says, I love the idea of putting the middle star on the upper flap. Yeah, I kind of didn't want to be too contrived and do small, medium, large, although that's probably a pattern that I could have used as well. But I thought one of the main reasons I did that was because it allowed me a little bit more room to write the person's name. So and then I thought that would kind of just, and I love how this star here pops on the black, right? It's kind of fun. Okay. So in the end, people like the pink and the blue green, the blue straight. Oh, well, that's cool. I'm glad people like both. Um, I love them all. Blue, maybe just a bit more. Cool. Dee says she thinks she likes the straight. However, I think for something uplifting for a fun card would be okay too. I love the blue and yellow. Wow, this would be a great card for an awareness card. Yeah, true, because it is like the ribbon of the like that people use for different causes. So yeah, it would be a great card. And that ribbon I just copied from the main card. So that was kind of already on there, like the snowflakes, and I just supplanted the stars. And that's the great thing about this Casing Tuesday thing is it really helps us, get out of our comfort zones with different ideas, right? Uh, Alice says her nails are working ones. Yeah. So, but you know what? I think the thing is we just have to like be tolerant of everyone's, styles, right? Because what a boring world this would be if we were all the same, right? let's celebrate our differences. And I just hope that they're not too bad for on camera, because some people have, you know, since I do a lot of camera work, it does cross my mind that maybe I should be a little bit more conscious of that. But I'm glad you guys don't hold it against me. That's the main thing. And thank you so much, Alana. It's nice to see you on here. I haven't seen you in person for quite a while. So thank you so much for joining me this morning, and I hope you will post your card that you do over on Casing Tuesday. Just a couple of things that I want to tell you about. This beautiful paper that I used today, the plaid tidings paper, is on sale right now. We have about 12 different papers that are on sale this month only for 15% off. So if you like it, there's so many beautiful patterns. Make sure you pick up a pack this month, because next month it will be more expensive. I already told you about joining the Facebook group. The link is down below. If you place an order from me, you will get to choose one of my free tutorials. I have over 70 tutorials that are paid tutorials, and I give them free to customers with an order. You can also purchase those tutorials, but I always love to give them free with an order. My newest tutorial this month is this beautiful box using the Peaceful Nativity bundle. I've got a lot of other tutorials too that don't require a bundle. This one does require the Peaceful Nativity bundle, but I've got a lot of standalone tutorials like the Hershey's Acorn that I did the previous month, and you get to choose. You don't have to choose the tutorial of the month. You can choose whichever one you want. If you need a supply list for the cards that I shared with you today, just look down below and click on my link that takes you over to my blog. Down at the bottom of my blog post, you will find a list of all of the supplies that I used. And make sure you come back and join me on Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, when I'm going to have another tutorial. This one will either be a 3D or fancy fold. I haven't designed it yet, but I will be there on Friday on my YouTube channel. It will be live at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, guys, and if you need to find my YouTube channel, pop over to my blog and click on videos, and that will take you to my YouTube channel if you want to subscribe over there. Okay, guys, I hope you have a great week, and I hope it's sunny where you are today, because it's certainly not sunny here. All right, take care, guys. Bye-bye.